When I first saw Huesera, the Bone Woman, I loved it. The dark story of a new mother who is being haunted by the fear of childbirth and the fear of motherhood in the form of a terrifying figure from Mexican folklore. Really up my alley. And the more I've watched and thought about this film since I first saw it, the more I've connected with it on a deeper and more personal level. Hey there, creepy peeps. My original review of Huesera, the Bone Woman, has been one of my more popular videos. More specifically, it keeps coming up in my analytics that people are finding my channel because they are searching for videos on Huesera. So I'm hoping that means enough of you have seen this movie to where I can do a deeper dive on it. So with that, major spoilers ahead for Huesera, the Bone Woman. Directed by Michelle Garza Cervera, Huesera, which translates to The Bone Woman, follows Valeria, who is seemingly excited to be a mom when she gets pregnant, but she soon realizes she's been targeted by a sinister entity. This movie, to me, goes beyond even just the fear of motherhood and the fear of childbirth. The bigger monster at play is archaic societal structures, aka the patriarchy and heteronormativity. Valeria is playing into the expectations that society has for her as a cis woman, which ultimately just amounts to being a mother and being a homemaker. So we start the film with Valeria and her partner Raul having sex, trying to get pregnant. And the sex looks, well, it looks like she's definitely having sex for a purpose other than pleasure. I'm not arguing that Valeria doesn't like her partner at all, but I question whether she is getting any satisfaction from being intimate with him. And later on in the film, when it is confirmed that Valeria is pregnant, and barely showing, I might add, she's actually in the mood to be intimate with Raul, and he's turned off by the fact that she's pregnant, pushing her away and saying that they'll hurt the baby by having sex. Valeria does have a passion, which is building furniture, and she channels her excitement for her baby into building the nursery and literally building a crib. We learn that she's giving up her workroom in their apartment for the nursery, but I noticed when she delivers the news of her pregnancy to Raul, she goes to him in what looks like an office in their home. It's not their bedroom, it's not any other room, indicating that he's not giving up any personal space for their baby. She is. And it's clear to me at this point that Valeria is being forced into like this submissive trad wife kind of role, not having her opinions heard in any capacity, from things as mundane as Raul letting his mother buy a mobile for the nursery despite the fact that Valeria told him she was making one, to the more serious when Valeria is asking for help from basically everyone in her life, Raul, her mother-in-law, and Valeria's own family. And they all brush her off, saying what she's going through is quote unquote normal for pregnancy. In watching the movie, I'm inclined to believe that Valeria on some level does want a child, at least at the beginning, because she never appears to truly wish her child harm. It's only when she's being possessed by the Bone Woman. She simply just wants to have a say in what's going on with her own body, which is a big ask for bodies that don't check the cis man box. So Valeria's lack of control in her life manifests in the set design and the sound design. Valeria goes to a healer for help, I'll get to them later, and she's told that she's caught in a web. And we see this kind of web design throughout the film in various set pieces that kind of look like a web, like the crib that Valeria is building, the lattice work in their apartment. And the camera frames these webs around Valeria to suggest that she's caught in this heteronormative existence. We also hear lots and lots of bones like snapping and popping and breaking throughout the movie, especially during super stressful moments for Valeria. Valeria literally is breaking herself to fit into this box the patriarchy has set for her. And when the stress of it becomes too much, we see her crack her knuckles and the joints in her shoulders and cracking her back in an attempt to mold herself into the shape of a mother and a wife. Let's circle back to Valeria's family for a moment. When Valeria tells them the news of her pregnancy, she's met with cautious congratulations, especially from her sister, who insists Valeria is not good with kids. At dinner, Valeria's sister and mother remind her of a time when she dropped a child when she was babysitting, back when she was younger. Definitely an accident, but it's presented as evidence as to like, it's surprising that you're having a kid right now given this one moment that happened forever ago. They also make remarks about Valeria's aunt, who they call a spinster, and she also just happens to be incredibly queer-coded. Valeria's aunt dresses in a more traditionally, quote-unquote, masculine way with jeans and button-up shirts. She's the only one who believes Valeria and takes her to see the healers. And during this scene, we also see the aunt flirtatiously touching another woman to kind of confirm her queerness. And the healers Valeria goes to are outside of any strict religion like Christianity, which is present in the film in kind of a background way. The most overt suggestion of Christianity is at the very beginning of the movie when Valeria and her mother go to pray for her to conceive at this like giant statue of the Virgin Mary. But like I said, the healers definitely operate outside of that, and the women there are the ones that ultimately help Valeria to rid herself of the bone woman. They represent women supporting and helping each other, while Raul and his mother and Valeria's parents uphold archaic societal standards that would suggest Valeria simply needs to take some antidepressants and that will fix her problems. And to be clear, in this moment, I'm not suggesting that antidepressants are as a whole bad, but in the context of this movie, they're presented as like an easy solution for Raul so that Valeria will not be such a burden to him with her crazy antics and seeing things. Hell, he goes with his mother to the doctor to get the pills prescribed for Valeria in honestly one of the most understated, like wild scenes that I kind of love, because these kind of like alpha male types basically just want a mom. They don't want a partner. And in this scene, the framing of it shows Raul with his mom at the doctor to get the antidepressants, and then the camera shifts and we see Valeria sitting off to the side, almost as like an afterthought that she's there. Like, she has so little control over this. During her pregnancy and the course of the movie, Valeria reconnects with her old flame Octavia. We see in a flashback that Valeria used to run with a punk crowd that was very anti-establishment. She was in a relationship with Octavia, and the two wanted to build a home in the mountains together and be away from the city, and therefore be away from society's strict standards. In this flashback, we see Valeria revealing that she is going to university. After the death of her brother, which we only hear about through this flashback, Valeria feels responsible to her parents to be the model child. So she gives up the punk scene, grows her hair out, goes to university, and then we assume meets Raul at some point in that, and ultimately conforms to please her parents. Reconnecting with Octavia reminds Valeria of the life she really wants. And to really show what a foil Octavia is for Raul as a partner, Octavia and Valeria have passionate sex while Valeria is pregnant, and showing a little bit more in this scene. I just want to point that out. I feel like that's important. Octavia clearly still finds Valeria attractive, pregnant or not. Literally, Raul could never. And what I really, really like about this film ultimately is when Valeria does come to the realization that she does not want to be a mother, and that's why the bone woman is targeting her. She isn't demonized. I feel like this movie could have very easily taken the route where at this moment Valeria becomes the bone woman and becomes a monster and becomes dangerous, because that's kind of like what the patriarchy wants you to think about queer women or just any woman who doesn't want a baby. But Valeria takes responsibility for her baby's safety and undergoes a dangerous ritual to rid herself of the bone woman. And it turns out the real bone woman was Valeria's indecision all along. The ritual helps Valeria see what she really wants, and it does not include being a mother or Raul's wife. So she leaves her marriage and leaves her child with Raul for the life she wants and a life that will make her happy. And no matter how you want to interpret the film, I think we can all agree that a core message of Huesera is anti-conformist. And through this queer subtext that I picked up on while watching the movie, I was able to connect with the story on a different level just as a femme person, despite the fact that I've never been pregnant or want to get pregnant, but that's just another way I could connect with this movie. And I think a lot of people have. I would love to hear y'all's thoughts and interpretations of Huesera in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, I do occasionally do deep dives and discussions about topics in the horror genre, so if you like this video, you can check out one of my more recent deep dives into the evolution of the Wednesday Addams character. I will see you on Friday with a new video. Until then, stay strange. Bye!